We are online. So welcome, everybody, to 3 sessions of Atitlan Riders. So this is the first one. And so I will quickly say what Atitlan Riders is. Atitlan Riders is a game, what I now usually call it. It's a coming-of-age game in a Mayan town in Central America. And it's based on the Powered by the Apocalypse engine by Vincent and Meguey Baker. And I have written this game because I moved to Santiago Atitlan, to this place 2 years ago, and I also spent like half a year in 2012 here. And I'm very fascinated and excited about living here and being able to learn about the culture. And I thought, like, how do I learn best about this culture? I like games and I like to play games. And so I thought, like, I design a game about this place and the people here. And I'm a German, and I'm not an ethnologist. I have no training in that. I'm a mathematician, actually. So I tried my best, but my best, I guess, is not really sufficient to give a perfect picture, not even a very good one, but a good enough one, I would say. But this is something I want to try out by playtesting. And for that, I have 4 admirable people with me, and one of them is a very special and important guest for me. It is Daniel. And Daniel is actually somebody who once was a teenager. He's not anymore. But so he could play himself, so to say. And he interestingly grew up at a time here when the first tuk-tuks arrived here. Tuk-tuks are 3-wheeled vehicles, which are here as taxis, because the roads are very steep and very narrow, so normal cars can't go in every part of the city. The tuk-tuks are the perfect vehicles to go from here to there. So you pay 3 quetzales, that's the currency in Guatemala, and then they bring you to wherever you want, and they do so very fast. And when I first took a tuk-tuk, I already knew this is worth a racing game. And so part of the Atitlan Riders is that our characters are not only teenagers, but they also have a secret identity as tuk-tuk drivers. So there is a magic realism moment sometimes in the game when we can, wherever there's tension, wherever we have conflict, we can decide, let's have a race about it. And then we just quickly jump at our tuk-tuks, and like a Powerpuff Girl magic moment when everybody's changing their identity, we are in this tuk-tuk and we have an exciting short little race, and the winner decides how to solve the problem at hand, and then we are back in our normal lives. Yeah, the currency. Yeah, Susanne?
So they have a secret life as tuk-tuk drivers, but there are real tuk-tuk drivers. I mean, it's something that you can do, right, as a profession.
Yes, like not everybody has this as a profession. Like when we create characters, we can have a look what profession we would like to have. And so indeed, when I was developing the game, I had first the idea that everybody is a tuk-tuk driver, but I thought this is a little bit too narrow. And actually the exciting part is the racing part we are doing by night, or by day.
So it is not allowed, actually doing the races is not allowed. This is illegal, or at least not frowned upon by society.
I would say so, yes, yeah. There are rumors that there once were races, but yeah, I don't know how much of that is true. So we are playing in the Gauntlet community. So this is a game which is on the Gauntlet calendar. That is an online community which organizes games, and we take care for our players. And so we have an inclusivity policy which applies to this game, and we also have the X card on the table. The X card is on our virtual table, just means we can write in the chat, I will just do so, an X, and it says that we don't feel okay with a certain content which was brought into the game. And we then rewind and take that content back. Nobody needs to explain why they don't want this content. Nobody can demand that. If you want to explain that, for sure you can do so in the chat. I'll just stop the game if you feel necessary. The door is always open. That goes as well, for sure. So if you don't want to continue the game for any reason, people are more important than the game. So if you don't want to continue, just say, I'm out, and then you're gone, and nobody will blame you for anything. So that is very important. Danielle, I think you are not so familiar with that. Do you feel that this makes sense to you, or would you like to have a further explanation?
It is. I think you already explained a bit about everything. Yeah. So I think I'm getting it.
Very cool. Yeah. Thank you. So this is all what I wanted to say for the beginning. So we could now jump to character creation. And for character creation, we have a character keeper, an online character keeper. And so yeah, let's start with character creation. If you feel comfortable, like let's do the first steps in terms of character creation, like picking playbooks. Next step we then do is we go to the setting and we pick a couple of setting material to understand like what kind of scenes we would like to play, and then we return to the tuk-tuk fronts and then finish our characters. And we take all the time we need to do that. All right. So I will share my screen that you can also see how that looks like, the character keeper. It's this one here. Yeah, here we go. So each of you can pick one of the columns and put your player name on top. And then, fortunately, it's a drop-down to pick a playbook. So, for example, here, this one says you have 6 playbooks, and they are, I would say, self-explanatory to a good degree. The most important choice you make by picking a playbook is like what kind of extra you have, like something where your character is always under heat while in the game. For example, the Righteous has a strong faith in something. They are totally convinced that they need to bring their faith into the game. They want to understand something about their faith. They want to convert others. So you pick what kind of faith, for example, you have if you are the Righteous, and what purpose. So it makes sense to look at the extras, especially if you pick a playbook. And there's the leader, for example. The leader obviously has a gang, and you need to decide like what kind of gang that is, why they meet, why they get together. Is it music, or is it their motorbikes, or do they consume drugs together? And the thief, for example, has a secret, and so on. Do you already have an idea what you would like to be?
I was thinking of being in a laundromat or some sort of clothes washing.
Can you say that again?
Doing washing clothes.
Ah, yeah.
I didn't know if I would be like a business person or a trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say that could be any kind of playbook, actually. That is more a question of like what kind of profession you should pick. So that could be business, but that could also be like crafts. However, washing is like hand washing. That means it could also be body. Yeah.
So can you talk about the professions a little then? Like what are those?
Yeah, the professions. So there are 8 professions. So beside the playbook, you also pick a profession. And the professions give you like a broad idea about like what your character's job could be. So if you pick trade, for example, then you look at, you could imagine being like a seller at the market, or you have a market stand for pirated CDs. You're totally free to choose, what your profession does is it gives you one special ability which you could use in the game. For example, trade will give you that people you will always know when somebody's cheating. You rather sooner or later you will find out when you're a trader. So you have a good understanding of when people are not honest with you, for example. Like, for example, in education, you know something about the history of the place, or you can claim the truth about certain things which are based on knowledge. I think the easiest is like if you just pick and then have a look. And usually it should be something which is exciting for you. If it isn't, then just reconsider. So I see that Danielle is a rebel and active in entertainment. And Rich hasn't decided yet. The Joker. Ah. That looks good. The Joker in business.
Yeah, I don't even know what a boat mafia is, but I can't not be part of the boat mafia.
Yeah. Cool. That sounds so good. Yeah. I think when all of you have like an idea already about like what they could be, then I would like to talk a little bit about Santiago and about the setting itself, which feels a little bit embarrassing with Danielle around because I can only talk like secondhand, and he will correct me whenever I exaggerate something or totally get it wrong, or even if it turns even offensive.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm contemplating various possibilities here. I sort of like the idea of combining church musician, which is maybe it's one of the few ways that this person can actually get to play and maybe even get a little bit of money in this setting with something that is not particularly churchy. So maybe church musician and a thief, or maybe church musician and leader of the pack, and there's a totally different group. What kind of packs could you have? You said something about motorbikes?
Yes, I like there are a couple of examples on the character sheet, and for leader of the pack, for example, I gave a suggestion music. And so if you're a church musician, you could have your own music group, which does public showings by marching through the streets. That is definitely something which exists. There's also photography. I put drugs in there, motorbikes or bicycles. Yeah, these are the things. And for the thief, yeah, that is a little bit more abstract. Like the secret a thief has could be like about something immoral they know, which is going on in town, and they know about. Or it could be a criminal activity. It could be a secret which lies in the town's history.
Okay.
Which is very abstract. So we need to think then a little bit about what that could be. And lore is one. Like, for example, with Danielle last week, I tested a little bit around, and we had like a teacher who knows a weaving pattern. And the secret was like something which nobody else can do. Only they know how to do something, which is very popular. So that could also be a thief.
But how is that a thief? Does the thief have to do something to steal things, or?
The thief doesn't have to steal. No, it's but it's when you look at the secret, you pick what you do, what kind of power your secret gives to you. So it could keep you secure. Like it's like a business secret in that sense.
Okay.
And, yeah, and thief is more like a reference to having something secret, something you use and you're not willing to share with others.
Right.
Yeah, you keep away from public.
Okay.
And in that sense, you're a thief.
I see. I would like another 2-3 minutes to look through this. Maybe someone else has some questions or thoughts in the meantime.
Good. Yeah. Sounds good. I would say I use the time, if you don't mind, to tell us a little bit more about the setting, because 3 people here haven't been so far in Santiago, although that could change within the next 12 months. That would be so great. More about that later. So the setting. We are in Guatemala. I don't know how much you know about Guatemala. It's a country in Central America. Are you still around? Yeah, you just muted yourself. Sorry, I'm always scared that my connection could disappear suddenly. I will also change the one second. I will move to the application window quickly here. So Guatemala is a country in Central America, and it has been war-torn for many years. Like only in the 90s, the civil war, the internal conflict was over. And you see there a picture of a Mayan pyramid. So this is Mayan territory, and 60% of the population are of Mayan origin. And then there are Latinos, and I could say a white upper class, which has ruled the country and oppressed most of the population for many years, like many centuries. And I would say still going on so. But it's a country which is also on the rise. We see literacy is going up, population is going up, and now 20 years peace has a positive impact, although corruption is still a very heavy topic. In this picture, you see a quetzal. The currency is named after this wonderful, beautiful bird with very long feathers. And Guatemala has, beside this bird, also a national tree. And people are very proud of their national symbols. So Lago Atitlan is in the highlands of Guatemala. It's very high here. Temperatures are extremely mild, and we are surrounded by 3 volcanoes and next to a 10-kilometer long crater lake. And Santiago is a town of 40,000-50,000 people. So it's actually much bigger, as you could imagine. And it has traditionally had a lot of fishing here going on and farming, but yes, all kind of business opportunities in town. Santiago is not a very touristy town in contrast to many other towns around the lake. There are day tourists coming here, but most of the business is independent from tourism. And Santiago Atitlan was for a very long time separated, actually, from other towns from the lake. You could only really reach it through paths and through boat. And so the boat mafia plays a very important part because that is public transport. And you go to other villages at the lake by boat. The boat is #1 public transport. The other is the camionetas, and with the camionetas, the chicken buses, you can go in 4 hours to the capital. This is where Danielle currently is, and when we want to see each other, we have to take the camioneta. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to say about the setting. There are problematic aspects in it, and one of it is racism. It's a very depressing element. Here, that racism still plays a role. And since we play a game here, we don't want to ignore racism, but we also don't want to make it the main and only topic we're talking about. So we will stay curious, we will stay open-minded about what that actually means, but I don't think it plays a direct role in the kind of play we have. Same goes for sexism. Domestic violence against women is very prevalent. Machism, for sure. And in our game, you can play any gender you want in any position, and not every NPC will pick you all the time, but quite the opposite. If you don't want this to be part of your character, it will not be. So this is not about realism. This is about us playing this setting in a way that is enjoyable for all of us. Religion is another thing. Like 30% of the population are evangelical, 30% are Catholic, close to the Pope, and 30% are syncretic Catholics. This number is a pure guess. I don't know how exact the numbers are. But the syncretic Catholics, for example, they have a Mayan god they worship as a saint here. There are processions through town with him. He's moving the site he is located in 2 or 3 days from now, for example. There are more than 50 churches in town, evangelical churches, and a big Catholic church in the center. And people go like 3 times a week to church. There is religious hatred going on, unfortunately, between the different groups, but at the same time, everybody is still somehow getting along. It's complicated, and I don't dare to judge or to say what actually is right or wrong or what is going on. We won't put religion in the forefront of our game neither because of that, because that is something out of our scope, I would say. However, we can still play with religion, but we do it on a liberal way. Poverty as well. Like, poverty is very oppressing and depressing truth. In town, it's people are doing well. It's not that everybody's totally poverty trapped, but people go to school, people try to make business opportunities wherever they can. So it's also not about a poverty-stricken country, which is where everybody is struggling to survive. But sure, money is short. Yeah. So do you feel comfortable with playing in this environment? Would you like to know a little bit more of one aspect? Are you afraid of something? Then this is the opportunity to make a...
I saw a term in the book, Communareta Ayudarata?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you write it in the chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you should... Oh yeah, the camioneta ayudante. Yes, the camioneta these are the American school bus, the yellow buses, and they are colorfully painted here. They look beautiful. And the ayudante is the helper. Ayuda is to help. And so he's the assistant to the bus driver. And he is usually, he's like picking the money and helping passengers to put stuff on the roof. And they are really cool guys. And they have a dangerous job. They have a pretty dangerous job. There are mafia wars going on, and sometimes one of them is shot just to make a statement. And they climb on full speed on these buses and around them, outside of them. Yeah, these are the camioneta ayudantes. Yeah, cool. All right, that is what I want to say about the setting. And now let's return to character creation, if you like, if you feel comfortable. So
I posted a picture of a camioneta ayudante in the chat.
Ah, in the...
Yeah, I see it. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, yeah, there they are, yeah.
That's not a very colorful bus, but that's one of the most common buses in the city.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's one of the red buses my wife is warning me to never take because they are full of thieves.
I love that you can give us images directly here of these things. That's very, very helpful, and it gives a very good sense of what's going on. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I so much hope that how I described Santiago was somehow okay to you.
Yeah, that's very, very good, actually. Very good.
Yeah, I also don't want to abuse you as like approval, but you know what I mean. Yeah. All right. So when we return to character creation, what you now thankfully can do is there's a drop-down list. If you don't like any of the options on the drop-down list, just change it to what you prefer. For example, the next step is to choose a face, which is not you actually choose a face, but it is a short list of different emotions which give you and the others a first idea about what kind of character you play. Next is the style of clothing. And there are different options in the style of clothing. And one is like, for one, I might need to explain, cheap means you get your clothing from the packer. The packer is second-hand clothing from the United States. So whatever you in the States throw in the containers goes through Mexico to Guatemala. Most of the stuff is a little bit too oversized for Guatemalan people or too tall, because people here are on average a little bit smaller. But there are fantastic stuff in there. However, people who wear packer stuff often are looked down on. Who has the money usually prefers going to a store to buy fake Levi's jeans there, while you can get the original at the packer, but it's secondhand. Yeah, and practical, what practical is like, what is practical also in other countries. You have a t-shirt, you have jeans, sneakers maybe, a base cap. That is typically practical, but yeah, there are other styles of practical for sure. The third line is your family name. And your family name, there are only 5 options for a good reason. So we might end up with 2 people belonging to the same family, but we don't have to. But it's one of the facts that because the town was small once and grew fast, there are actually only a couple of family names. When you go over the cemetery, there are not many different names to be found there. And from the name, you can already see a little bit, but usually not completely, like if the person is Latino or from Tz'utujil. The name Tz'utujil are the Mayan kingdom, which was here before the Spanish conquistadores came and conquered it. But Tz'utujil as a language is still around, and people still speak it as their first language, most people here. And I can only say a couple of words in Tz'utujil. I, for example, can say Chwarchik, which means see you tomorrow. And I can say Maltyosh, which is a thank you.
Manchos. Can you say it again?
Maltyosh.
Mechos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a written language, so there are many different ways to write it. And yeah, the way I write it, for example, comes from how I would pronounce it in German. So yeah, but my son is learning it properly with a teacher. Yeah, you also pick like what your family is known for. And your family could be known, for example, for their feuds or their honesty. And for sure, then there we already enter a little bit of drama. Feuds are not that common here, I would say. Oh, and Susanne goes for the leader and has a radio show gang. I love it.
I also chose, let's see, Rich. I wouldn't actually introduce yourself. Who is Rich?
I am Rich. Hello.
Hi. Hi. I think we could be in the same family, you and I, because I find the idea of I saw that you were going to be the Joker and maybe having to do with the boat mafia, right?
Correct.
I thought it was a good combination with my. I want to have someone who's passionate about doing things, and maybe more. I'm not sure she's entirely about justice, but you know, things should be done in a certain way. I think that's a good contrast if you're a boat mafioso.
It sounds fun.
Okay.
That sounds great. Yes. Good. So, and Asher, and you belong to the Takashoi family. Takashoi. Yes, how you pronounce that. I could actually already switch again to the share the screen again. That makes sense? Yeah, I think so. Cool. Takashoi family. All right, Danielle, do you have an idea for your struggle already?
I'm working on it, but I think my family known for Dropbox, it has the options of the style.
Oh, that means there's something wrong with the links. Yeah. Yeah. So your family is not for that fashion.
Yeah.
But why not?
So
I will have a look at
the options.
Yeah, I will have a look at the document. So you are the rebel, and the rebel has the family could be known for their wealth, their business sense, their honesty, or maybe they are weirdos,
Okay.
or they are constantly in struggles.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, so they could be weirdos. Oh, yes. So they are the source of evil and they're weirdos. Oh, yeah. Be aware that there are many softwares around, and I guess you're not talking about your own family, because I know they're very nice people.
Yeah, I'm on character right now.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool. That sounds great. Who's already done with that could already go over to the stats. I think if you have played Powered by the Apocalypse games before, that's pretty straightforward. You have 4 stats, and you just distribute the values, which you can see in italics below, to the stats. I have written the English equivalent of the Spanish name behind, so you have a broad idea, but I should also say a little bit more about the stats, I would say. All right, yeah, but if you need a little bit more time for struggle, your extra, we can also continue discussing that.
I'm having a struggle with this, with the extra.
Mm-hmm.
So here, I don't remember the options.
So you could struggle with an authority.
Okay.
Like it could be, or with an institution.
Okay.
Or with your family. It sounds like your family could be your struggle, if you're the source of evil.
That sounds okay.
Like authority, I was thinking about like the mayor or your church, or the institution. Like if you still go to school, your school might be a good choice, for example. And destiny is the last option I put in the list for the rebel.
That sounds like that more.
Yeah. And then you need to think about like what kind of destiny you struggle with. That could be that your destiny is to get into a certain position, to have a certain job, or you feel something spiritual. Like I'm totally open to have a spiritual character in there. Maybe you're supposed to be the next shaman, and or you're supposed, or you have seen the dragon in the lake. It could be a spiritual destiny, but it could also be that your parents want you to take over their business, and you struggle against that destiny, although you know you're good at that. You should do that. Rich, do you have an idea for your the truth you as a Joker have? Is it?
No, I do not. I was looking at moves. Yeah, it's an inconvenient truth. I see there's some choices there.
Yeah, like the idea about the Joker is that they poke people about something everybody tries to ignore. So it is the Joker is not keeping a secret, but it's like creating situations so people are reminded about that one thing they don't want to think about. So that could be that, for example, environmental destruction, that everybody is believing in the future of tourism, but actually currently there's so much dirt water going into the lake that soon it will just be a stinking hole, the huge lake. So it could be that. Such kind of truth. Yeah.
Is the Joker a truth sayer? So the Joker sees a truth that the others don't.
Yes. He might not directly always say the truth. Like the righteous might be like full on the mission. While I see the Joker, I usually would see like more the kind of, he's creating a situation that people get into the embarrassing position to have that they have to admit that the truth is there. So when you look at the moves, the Joker is his move is triggered when when somebody is confronted with the truth, and then the people need to admit that the truth is true, or they can deny that. And in both cases, it pays out for the Joker. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I went ahead and went with environmental destruction. I like the idea of the lake could be destroyed, and I'm blaming the government.
All right, yeah. Sounds cool. Yeah, and you could, yeah, if you by night take somebody out onto the lake for a moonshine romantic moment or something, and then it stinks all around them, that would be a Joker situation or something like that. Yes. Yeah. But if you play it in a more confrontational and direct direction, it's totally fine with me for sure. Like, yeah. And Rebecca, Susanne, your character Rebecca is the radio show is about changing the world.
Yeah, maybe this is changing a small part of the world. We're going to change the world, meaning Atitlan.
Yeah. Cool.
I think this. So Rebecca is someone started a radio show, and she took it over together with her friends. Maybe it was a school project originally.
Yeah.
But they realized that there are people listening. I mean, there aren't a lot of people listening, but there are some people listening. And the feeling of that, oh wow, people are actually listening to what we say, is pretty powerful.
Cool.
And it's hard to know. Sometimes they feel distraught. They're like, oh well, who cares? We only have 10 listeners.
Yeah.
Always say. And who no one is going to care. We can't get people to care about Atitlan and come here and make this place. Maybe we believe. I don't believe that Diego is right about the lake. I think it's gonna get awesome. It's gonna be awesome as soon as we get more tourists here. So we want to promote Atitlan through our awesome radio show and local music and things like that. Sometimes we don't feel so good about it, and other times we feel awesome. We're like, no, we're gonna get 1,000 listeners. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, perfect. Asher, Julia, Lavanderia. You have a vision.
Yeah, I was thinking of like starting a delivery service for the cleaners.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So traditionally, washing of clothing is done by the women. At the washing bay, there are areas in town where they go down, and they are like rocks, lava rocks, and you wash clothes by rub them over the lava rocks. And well, you use a lot of soap there, so usually there are also a lot of algae close by, and every once a week people need to go there and clean the area, and then it's a big community activity to clean the part of the lake from the algae growing from all the soap going in there. And that is a lot of manual work, and washing saloons didn't work well because labor is still too cheap, I think. So people don't use washing machines, no laundry, no machines. And so clothes delivery would be a great service. Yes, I think that would totally make sense for here.
So is that called something else?
It's perfect. I think it's perfect as you put it.
Okay.
It's a good business idea. I would say I would order it. Yeah. So what we do, my family does, it's like we have neighbors and we bring them our dirt clothes and they do the full service, and we go to their house again and pick it up there. But like there are many visitors also to town who would definitely also use this service, or also people who are too rich to do it by themselves. So if you feel fine with that, then I would go to Daniel and talk about his destiny. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
So what do you think? What is your destiny?
Okay.
Samuel.
Yeah, I think it sounds very fun. Like I choose the family name Tz'utujil, the same one.
Yeah.
And it rolls the tongue, you know. Samuel Tz'utujil.
Ah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I choose as a profession, I am a fisherman. But because I'm a rebel, I don't like it. And my family, it's a fisher family. So the idea, like the destiny that is in my struggle is that I have to be a fisherman. I have to sell my fish in the market. And as a rebel, I don't like that because I want to preserve all the fishes in the lake. So I'm subverting with it. That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I like the fact that we're centering around the lake here. There's a lot of opinions about the lake.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the lake deserves it. It's a very special place.
It is.
It totally deserves this. So we have one. Diego is a boat mafioso, so they squeeze as many people as they can into one of the lanchas, which are these boats, and then they cross the lake and return. And so I could easily see like you passing by, and then there are the fishermen in their cayucos, these little kayaks, waiting for some fish. And then there's the washing woman, Julia, and waving from the shore, and while everybody is listening to the radio. Yeah. What a great opening scene for this movie. Yeah. Cool, but we'll return to that later. Do you want to distribute the mechanical part, the stats, quickly? Do you know how to do that? Rich has already done it, as I can see. So what you do there is when you double click on the stat, you can pick the number or you just type it in. That works as well. You have 2 stats on +1, 1 on 0, and 1 on -1. And then you can add 1 point to one of them. So most likely you would like to have 1 on the value of 2. Or maybe you say, I don't want to have a -1. -1 has a significant impact on rolls. However, having a 2 makes it a pretty safe thing to roll on that stat.
Can you tell? Did you say earlier that some of the archetypes had specific stats they were better at, that were more important for them?
Yeah, that is something, yeah, which you can. When you look at the character sheets, you get one move automatically, and then you pick another one, and there's there's always one move for one specific stat and one for the other. If you want, I can go through that with you. There's also in the overview sheet, you also see like which stats are the most likely. For example, the leader of the pack is typically good at Corazon and Manos. Manos means hand, but it's the general skill thing. So how good are you in what you are doing in your professional life?
I asked a question about this system here. So when I look at the moves for the leader, I see Corazon there, but I don't see Manos. I see something called tuning.
Yeah, tuning is a basic move. So there are 8 basic moves, and tuning is rolled on Manos.
Oh, okay.
So you use Manos on that. So it's a bit hidden,
okay,
because it's one of the 2 basic moves which is affected.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are 8 basic moves, and 2 basic moves always apply to one of the stats. I have to admit, I'm very mathematical in my mind when I design, so everything is very symmetric. So I had to have like 4 stats, and each has 2 moves. It looks very ordered.
Can you tell me a bit, or us a little bit, about what Loco is? The other ones I think I get.
Yeah. So Loco is in other PbtA systems also often called weird, and it means that you can think out of the ordinary. So you look beyond what other people in the same situation might see there. Loco is used for 2 basic moves, and one is assess a situation to see what is really going on, and the other one is rocking out. Rocking out is the move you use if you want to relax in a more hedonistic manner. But last playtest I did with Paul Chege, and what did he do? He used rocking out to go to the workshop of his grandfather, who is a carpenter, to make something out of wood. So rocking out can also be interpreted in that way. So if you have a low value in Loco, you will still happily roll on that, but it doesn't go that well all the time, which is also interesting. So to do that.
I think I'm thinking about having a -1 in Loco. I think Rebecca seems to be a rather frustrated character sometimes. I don't think she's very good at relaxing.
Cool, yeah.
And I think that she needs other people to assess the situation. She's very good at saying, we're going this way.
Yes.
But not very good at assessing what's actually going to happen there.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, cool. And I think we are done with stats. Yeah. So now comes the most exciting part of character creation, hopefully. I hope you like it, which is the tuk-tuk creation. I sent you the link again. You will also find it on the bottom of the character sheets. So here we go. We leave the characters for a moment because our tuk-tuks also have a personality. You even have to think about a name for your tuk-tuk. What we do now is everybody is already moving into their character and is drawing their own tuk-tuk, how it looks like, because these tuk-tuks, they are racing cars here, so they have decorations. If you have seen that in the rule book, there are many different examples of how that can look like. You have two options how to decorate your tuk-tuk. The first one, by the way, is just an example, and I will clean that in a minute. The first option you have to create a tuk-tuk is to say, well, I don't know enough about what is going on in Santiago, and I'm not so interested in what they do. They do like their favorite sports team on top of that. I try to be my character and do how my character's tuk-tuks would look like if my character grew up in my life. So if you have a favorite baseball team, for example, you put your baseball team on it, even if baseball is not a big thing here. But it's the analogous thing. So if you have a favorite band, put your favorite band in there, even if that band is not popular in Santiago Atitlan. So that is one option, authentic or close to your heart, I call that. But from the perspective of your character. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Next thing is, I will also show this application window to the world. Next thing is, if you want to make a tuk-tuk, the easiest is to use the insert button and search for a transparent picture and enter it here. So if you click on insert and then image, you can upload from the computer or you can search the web. And if you search the web, Google Images is your friend. And you can then, for example, type in bad religion, transparent. The word transparent often helps to find a picture which is not, doesn't have a background, because that often looks strange. So for example, if I want to have a yin-yang on my tuk-tuk, I can do it like this. Cool. Let's give us all 10 minutes to make this tuk-tuk, just to have a time frame, because that can be a lot of fun and can take a lot of time. But yeah, it's good if everybody has an idea about how much time we want to spend on this. When this is done, we look at our tuk-tuks and the other players say what they see in it. But we're not at that point yet. Yeah, and yeah, the inconvenient part is that when you copy something in, it's always very large at the beginning, and everybody needs to wait until you could size down your object and put it on your tuk-tuk. And I will, in the meantime, find page with the actual tuk-tuks from Santiago and put it on the screen. So these are a couple of tuk-tuks which exist in Santiago.
This is a lot
and
of
by
fun. I really like this.
That's part. A lot. It can be, yes. Well, I have done several already. And every time it's a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's something I can do with my son, because he is also a big fan of drawing tuk-tuk fronts. If I can help any of you with phrases, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I moved your tuk-tuk. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, good that there's a good control back. Oh, winter is coming.
Coming.
Yes. In the eternal summer of Santiago. And Susanna, you posted some Tz'utujil phrases, cool. Yeah, into the chat.
Can I change the background color of this tuk-tuk?
You can try. I'm not 100% sure if it works.
Okay, I can, huh.
Yeah, something like that happens.
Ah.
Oh, the Black Rider.
The black tuk-tuk.
Yes.
We should go with the black tuk-tuk.
If you want to do something really weird, this is what I had done, is under image, you can also use your camera. When you insert image, and then you can put yourself behind the window, the front window. We're making a screenshot.
I don't know. It's a little too black, I think. I think I'll go with purple. Or
Oh, Diego has 2d6. That's a statement. I think for the recording, I leave the tuk-tuk creation out of sight, so you can only see the final results. So if you don't mind me talking a little bit, then I would say that when we are done in, by the way, 4 more minutes, then everybody is choosing one of these 4 badges on the top left. These are the unforgettables.
I like the dragon.
Yes.
I also have something, not a dragon, but some sort of inspired me.
Yeah, some people say there is a feathered long dragon snake living in the lake. The lake is 300 meters, 330 meters deep. So it's it's very deep, and yeah. So if in Loch Ness there's space for a dragon, here for sure there's also space. And my tailor recently told me that he saw, no, a friend of him saw a dragon on top of one of the big churches in town.
The big dragon.
Yeah, a feathered snake dragon.
Ah. I searched for Quetzalcoatl. I found something. not really Oh! Okay, wow. Big troll.
Yes, these unforgettable badges, like everybody looks at the tuk-tuk of the others in a couple of minutes, and then you need to decide if you see honest, faithful, furious, or cool in the design. You can pick that up for your character and say, well, yeah, that could be me, or say, this is how people see me, but I'm not. Right, 1 more minute. Yay. I'm already switching the screen. I want to see the results. Still stuff coming in. Barça. Yeah, in reality, there's Barça and there's Real, and you can have family feuds, but not too serious. Like, I come from Germany, and sometimes people take their soccer affection towards a certain club a little bit too serious, I would say. Here, people also take it very serious, but so far, whenever I was around, at least, it was in a very friendly manner. And I'm a Borussia Dortmund supporter, and so I was always welcomed. All right, do you feel ready to talk about our tuk-tuks? You could still secretly continue if you like, by the way. Just whenever in the game you feel like you would like to add something to your tuk-tuk, do so. Diego, Rich, I will start calling you Diego. Diego, do you want to start telling us a little bit about your tuk-tuk? Do you even have a name for your tuk-tuk?
I think it's the meme-mobile. I don't know. That's what we'll call it.
Good.
Because you put a time limit on us, I just went with all things that I could think of immediately. I started off with a character-based thing, which was a hammock, because Diego would be laid back, and then everything else is just stuff I like. So
yes, and go. Diego likes.
Sure. We'll go with some role assumption instead of role playing. So he has an orc right in the middle to ward off anyone who is in his way. He's a bit of a gambler, so there's some dice. He has reverse the flip of the Yankees rather than the Yankees regular. He flipped it reverse, like a mirror image. And a dragon, and then up at the top where everybody else had cool symbols, he just put a screaming person's face. So
yes. Cool.
That is Diego's meme-mobile.
The meme-mobile. All right. So it's only up to the players, but if I had to choose, I think I would take the cool button, because of the screaming face especially. And what I would do then, I would pick this cool badge, make a copy of it, and pull it over. Yeah, and I think I take the freedom to also, as a GM, attach an unforgettable to each of you. So all of you others, you can also take a badge and copy it to Diego. If you want me to do that because it's a little bit fiddly to move it over, just say so and I will push it over.
Okay, so I'm going to take Furious and put it up here.
Yeah, and give it to Diego. All right. And
we should have one badge from each of us. Is that the idea, or?
yes, and then Diego needs to choose which two of them to keep. So you can only keep two of them. So that is your choice then.
Oh, okay.
And you delete the others. So Danielle, which badge would you give to Diego? What do you see in his tuk-tuk?
Okay. I think it looks very furious also to me, but I don't know if I can put another furious.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that for you. Yeah,
okay.
I will just copy it over. Ooh. It changed on the way. All right. And Escher, what do you think? What do you see in the tuk-tuk?
Diego?
Yeah.
I think I'll go with cool also.
All right. Shall I copy that for you?
Yeah.
Your paper.
Yeah, it's fiddly. And Escher, would you also like to tell us about Julia? Do you want us to say Julia or Julia, by the way?
I think Julia's best, because I'll probably mess up.
Cool. Yeah. So what do we see there?
A bunch of, I wanted it to be more like aesthetic, you know? So have like that Harry Potter kind of theme and games and pretty bugs. It's just kind of things that look cool.
I like it.
Yeah. Would we also see that on your clothings? See that you...
Probably. It's similar like mishmash of things.
Yeah. All right. Then I will pick Faithful for you. Rich, what do you pick?
I forgot how to work this thing.
That's funny that you chose Faithful, because I thought I was being clever by thinking Faithful of myself.
Yeah, let's do so.
Ah, where is it? Oh, it's frozen. Crap.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susanne, what about you?
I think I go with cool. This is a person who has like, oh, I like these things, and they clearly stand for them. I can't. It's frozen for me too.
Yeah, the same here. And Danielle?
I think there's a lot of cool. I also thought cool, but I want to put honest, because it looks very honest.
Yes. It's still frozen, but we keep our decisions in mind and move over. Yeah, the page is unresponsive, it says now. So let's talk about Rebecca's tuk-tuk.
Right. Yes. So this is mostly a fraction of the character, I think. You have the Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent there, and then I think she plays the guitar. And you have the headphones and the little broadcasting symbol up there as well, and a big and a cross. I think she has an ambivalent, but strong but ambivalent feelings about religion. And I like this the local tradition that mixed some the local old faith with Catholic faith. That was interesting. So I think it's interesting that both the cross, the crucifix, it will be, and the winged serpent here.
So I will pick. I will pick Furious because I have the feeling that you are a very entertaining person on the radio, because you don't shy away from presenting what you see and try to make people excited about it.
That sounds about right. Yes.
So, Rich, what do you pick?
I pick honest. The fact play guitar, got a guitar, the religion, like it just seems like this is very much who Rebecca's about.
So, and Asher, what do you pick?
I think I'll go with Furious, because it's kind of putting things together that really shouldn't, right? Or, yeah, like it's defiant in its way.
I pull it over for you. And Danielle, you can pick one.
I think I will pick cool, because that's what I see. The guitar, the cymbal, the Wi-Fi, everything is cool to me.
Yes.
Nice. Rebecca would like that.
All right, Samuel, then it's your turn to tell us what tuk-tuk you draw.
Oh, sorry. I lost attention. Well, I choose things that Samuel and I like, but mostly Samuel, like the Barcelona symbol. It's more like something that happens in real life. When I see tuk-tuks, I see a lot of Barcelona signs in Real Madrid, as you said earlier. And the other things are more like things that I like the Trasher. It's a skateboarding magazine, and in Atitlan, I think there's some skaters that a couple of them are my friends, but it's a sport that you don't see it in a community like that, but we have some of them. So the other thing is I put the Lake Ness monster, because I'm a fisherman, and Samuel believes in that the monster is in the lake, in our lake. Yeah, and the other thing is it's very important. It's the speakers in the tuk-tuk, because we rock in town. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we put it really loud, and yeah, we make a mess because I'm a rebel.
Yeah. Oots, 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 oots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm already know that I see a lot of Furious in there, because you are the loudest tuk-tuk in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Asher, do you want to take next?
I think it's honest, as it seems to be representing his identities.
Susanne?
Well, he's clearly keeping up with what's happening, right? With the skateboarding and the soccer teams and everything like that. I think that's cool. I think I'll pick cool and move it over.
So, Rich, you're the last person to choose.
Again, I agree with you, Garrett. It's Furious. He is definitely furious with that loud speaker and the Thrasher symbol and where the wild things are. That's pretty Furious for me.
Totally. Cool. And so, each of you now has to unfortunately delete 2 of their unforgettables again. So choose carefully which 2 you choose. how to choose. So unforgettables, I will now change back to my face so you can see me talking. It makes it maybe easier. Unforgettables is actually in Atitlan Riders the way how you get what in other PbtAs would be XPs, experience points. So you will use them to, whenever you use an unforgettable, you get 1 XP. So, and if you have 4 XP, you advance. So the unforgettable, before you roll the dice for any move, you say, I make this move unforgettable. And it doesn't change anything mechanically, but whatever happens, if it's a miss or a full success or a partial success, it will be something you will remember, your friends will remember, or even the whole town will remember. It will be something which is like part of when you look back into your youth, which is like one of the important moments. And you are allowed to change the fiction together with us accordingly, that it is something remember worth. So this end, the name can be interpreted as widely as you want. So if you say, I make this unforgettable with an honest badge, then you can change it in an honest direction, the fiction. So it is something which is done with honesty or with curiosity or with coolness, and faithfulness. And they are pretty abstract, which means I hope that they can be used in for any role at any time. If in the future you want to gain more unforgettables, you need to participate in tuk-tuk races, then you get 1. Or you need to resolve influence. But that is something we can discuss in game, because influence is actually the main mechanic in the game. Influence is something bad, something you have over others or they have over you, and you don't want that. Because actually it's manipulation of others, of you or of others, and it's not good. So in the game we strive to, as players, we strive to bring our characters in situations in which they influence others in a bad manner and are influenced. But then we receive new unforgettables and therefore XPs, and therefore the economy of the game is rolling by resolving that, by getting to peace with that person. So that's my moral attitude behind the game, I would say. And the good thing is, if you advance, you become less and less affected by this kind of behavior. Influence is something you want to get rid of, and advancing is the way to get rid of it. And when the game ends one day for your character after session 3, then we look how much influence you still have with others, how much you are entangled in town, and that goes negatively into the role if your character has a happy ending or not. All right. So we leave character tuk-tuk creation for a moment. If you come up with a name, I skipped a little bit over that because I guess you were so busy with doing that. If you have a name for your tuk-tuk, write it down on the sheet. And so we can refer to the tuk-tuk.
Where do we write it?
In the name, yeah, just
okay.
on top. Yeah, there's not so much space. You might need to change the font size for that if you want to keep it beautiful. But yeah, don't worry. All right, so so we are 1.5 hours in, nearly. And we are nearly done with character creation. You could still pick one move from your character book. If you don't have time or don't have the headspace for that at the moment, don't worry too much. We can do so also at a later time. What is now more important is that we look at the influence. That is the last part of character creation. Influence is when you look at your characters, we can possibly do that starting with the rebel, so with Samuel or Fisher. When you look at the character sheet, Fisher has 4 different options and can choose 2 of them, with whom Samuel starts to have influence over, or they over them. For example, for Samuel, I could imagine that it makes sense to choose the option, your family has influence over you. who in specific and how. Influence, as I said, is something you actually don't want to have in the long run, but it's something which keeps the story going. So picking an option which is interesting to you is the most important. This is contributing heavily to the fiction, and we will have NPCs coming out of that. You can also connect to the other PCs. Pick one NPC and one other player character on average. I would say that should make sense for the beginning. So do you have the character sheets in front of you that you can look at your influence statements and consider like which to pick? Does it work? I think so, right? So while I stay with Danielle, maybe, is that okay for you?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Cool.
I think I'll need mild.
So, for example, Danielle, so you, for example, are you interested in picking your family as somebody who has influence over you?
Yeah, good.
So pick a family member, father, sister.
More than just family.
Grandmother. And
I think I can put, yeah.
And in the character sheet, there's like space, exactly like you. And say why they have influence over you. And they have influence on me. That means you make a cross in that column in your character sheet.
Okay.
So if your cousin has influence over you, you should give them a name, the cousin, and yeah, and you can then tell us if you have an idea why they have influence over you. Yeah, and then you pick a second influence option as well, and also write that in.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll think of it.
Mm-hmm. Here.
Where are we writing this?
When you scroll down to on your character in line 28, they are the so-called influence cards.
Okay, you don't put it on the tuk-tuk sheet.
Oh no, we are back at the character keeper. Oh, yeah, and you just pick 2 of the influences usually. But if you want to take more, feel free to do so. Oh, I see. You already have a very good idea how to use the columns and the space in the columns. Like Samuel and Diego, Rich and Daniela are already doing that and writing the statement in there. That's cool. Yeah.
What is the C column? What did you envision the C column being used for?
Yeah, that is one of the parts I'm not too happy about in the design at the moment, which is like, do you hear that noise? Is it too loud or is it okay? Can you still hear me? It's okay, cool. So it's the liquidor, the kitchen. My family is making a shake. The C column is like when you already have influence over somebody and you get, through a move, more influence over them. Then, like in other PbtA games, you can use the extra influence. It's then called charged influence. That's what the C stands for, to roll with advantage, to get an advantage or to ask them to do something, to give them a condition. So it's a mechanical opportunity to add to the fiction. So when you have influence over somebody, you then threaten them physically, and then you roll the engage a threat move, and it says gain influence over somebody. You say, my cousin, I already have influence over him. I get charged influence. Next opportunity, I can give him the condition angry. if the fiction allows, so all coming out of the fiction. Yeah. So you would probably put you check that box. It looks nicer in the playbooks because there it's a heart, and the heart has like a little appendix on both sides. Yeah, it would be good to have like one influence on one other player character and one on an NPC or an institution.
Can I ask a question? Why do you want us to limit ourselves to 2 influences? This sounds like a great way of getting, getting plot points. Can't we have more?
You can have more, yes. I was trying to I was thinking about limiting it to save you time and to keep the world a little bit less complex. However, I think you can take as many as you want. Yeah. I just need to know like on what we should focus. Like if you have 4 influences, I'm not sure on which to focus. That's the only thing. But we are able to talk about that, yeah. All right. A politician.
Yeah, so I have a question about, wait, did you want to finish with Danielle first?
I think we are good, Danielle, right? You have you understood like how it works, right?
Yeah, I copy the others.
Good, yeah. Yeah. So, Susanne, what is...
Yeah, so I wanted to, instead of politician, I would like to leave that up to you. I think there is someone who is going to be important when you start figuring out all the NPCs and all the plots. Maybe a politician, maybe a local leader, maybe, I don't know, someone. And I have influence over them. I know a secret about them. Maybe I did not tell it on the radio.
Yes.
Or maybe I tell something else on the radio. I'm not the righteous one. I mean, I'm perfectly willing to fudge things in order to advance my cause and my gang's future, and of course change Atitlan for the better in the way I think it should be changed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write politician ? There, and then you can change that if it's it's a church leader, if it's I don't know who it is, mafioso.
Well, yeah.
You decide.
Most interesting for sure is if we have that as the same person as maybe somebody else has picked. Like for example, Diego has also the government as
That's
influence.
true.
And then there is Samuel has also the mayor. In his list.
So yeah, well, I am happy to a secret about the a certain politician who also happens to be over, say, voting taxes or fines and the like, which means they have a lot of influence around our family.
Yeah, okay. So a politician who knows something about the lake, right? So I wonder if we're going to be divided. That would be fun over something with a lake here. I think maybe there is a restoration project going on with the lake somewhere. But maybe Diego doesn't believe that this will actually work. It's just a lot of money thrown, away at something that looks good, but it's not actually going to work. Something like that.
Maybe I'll make my own decision about what I think, but yeah, I like that setup.
Yes.
And
it sounds like the Joker, yes. And Samuel, what relationship do you have? What is consultancies on lake affairs? What do you imagine there?
Well, he sometimes cares for the lake, so he consults all the fishermen about the needs and how the lake, about some zones how does they look like? Where does it need more help or things like that?
Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, Susanna, I really like your idea about like having a major. How did you call it? Like a restructuring? No.
Oh yeah,
project.
Some sort of like a reclamation project. I mean, everyone agrees there are problems with the lake. We know that. But there is a sort of reclamation project going on, and maybe it'll hurt the fishes as well. Some people don't like it because it'll hurt the animals.
Yeah. Well, there is this actual project which like there are some Western engineers coming around, and it's a big topic again, to make like huge pipes for dirt water around the lake, like all around the lake. But everybody's suspicious what they really want to do, because what they actually probably want to do is using the lake water for water systems on the plantages, the big fincas down in the lowlands. So they want to draw water out of the lake in the end. It's very suspicious what is behind this idea of building this huge pipes all around the lake, kilometers long.
Okay.
That's, for example, is something which immediately comes to my mind.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and
I would suggest that these people claim that in just a few years it's going to be a beautiful, sand beaches everywhere. People will be swimming everywhere, and lots of tourists.
That must be it.
And maybe Rebecca has promoted this idea as well. It's like, yeah, it'll be awesome.
It will be awesome. Yes.
Yes. And maybe I found out something that it's not so awesome when I, tried doing research.
Sounds good. Yeah. Julia, can you also connect to that somehow, or do you feel yours are independent from that story?
No, I was thinking about that too. Like, we're washing things in the lake, so that would be very important. And that's actually one of the influences, is that something has become more important than your vision. So I think this sounds like that, but I'm not sure how to write it on my character sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest a really small font, like 6 point.
Yes.
Well, I just put it for Diego because he was trying to fight the environmental destruction.
Yeah, sounds fun.
But it seems to involve us all now.
I love it. Yeah. And then we could go through the influences a little bit already. Like, Rafet is somebody who admires your vision. Is Rafet also actually into Julia, or is it just the vision?
It could be. But I mean, I need people to actually deliver these things, right? So maybe he has other tech or something that could help make this reality,
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. He's really a fan of you generally, I think. He's
a business partner.
Yeah, with benefits. Who knows? Cool. Then we have Diego, and you have ideas about Samuel and Rebecca, or do you want to do that in-game when it develops? You can also postpone it to that time.
Yeah, I haven't come up with things yet. I think the radio show is interesting, but I don't know how to connect with it yet. Yeah.
Maybe a connection. Diego, so the government is getting on your nerves, right?
Yes, we should name this politician. I think right here and right now, Susanna, we should come up with a name for this person. Maybe we just look on one of the thief. Let's go to the thief playbook. There, whatever name there is, thiefy.
Yeah.
How would you say Chonitan? Is that a male or female name?
It's a female name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Chonita.
Like Chonita? Okay.
Chonita.
And then we should make them related to someone else. To Julia.
Yeah, Julia. That's a good idea.
All right.
That's a good idea.
Stupid Chonita, I hate her.
On the other hand, hey, we have someone else's character whose family is the source of all evil. I'm just saying.
But they are poor fishermen.
But they're also the weirdos, so maybe they won't become politicians. Yeah, maybe Takakoi is better. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Chonita Takakoi.
So Chonita Takashoi. That sounds good. Yeah. And she's the mayor.
Mayor? Oh, nice. Okay. I aim high in my hatred. And she has influence. Yeah, she has influence over me because she can change the voting rules and taxes. My abuelo knows all about this. Abuelo's legit for Guatemala, yes? For grandfather?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So yeah, he's Chonita, she can do things to make Abuelo's life harder, which indirectly makes my life harder. So I don't like her.
Yes, sounds good.
And then I just randomly put this Samuel rejects the truth. There was the thing, the power. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Somebody should know better, but openly rejects the truth. They have influence over me. I thought I would give Samuel, rejects the truth about the lake. Does he? If not, I can switch it.
Yeah, well, he can.
It sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
I imagine that Samuel is pretty honored that the mayor is asking for consultancy by. That's your opportunity to avoid your destiny. Maybe you become the assistant of the mayor one day.
Yeah. He can turn very evil too, like his family.
Yeah.
And
which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to have influence over Rebecca, the leader of radio show, because I know a truth somebody is hiding from themselves or the world.
Mm-hmm. Of course you do.
Yeah. What truth could you be hiding?
I don't know. I think maybe I want to. So I have all these. I say I want to make Atitlan better. I have this doing this with the radio show. I'm sort of having roots everywhere. But maybe I've actually been thinking about leaving. But no one knows this except you, because you did something. What did you do?
I think I suggested it.
You suggested it? Yes.
It was one of those. I think you've reached your potential here. What more could you possibly do?
Right. Okay, yeah, I like that. And that time when we were talking about that, I really agreed with you. And since then, I've rejected it and pretended it, officially pretended it didn't happen. So sometimes you'll be like, yeah, but you've been thinking about maybe going somewhere. I'm like, no, I never said that. No. But
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. The default is that we all know each other because you went to school together and like you were like friends as kids. And now you're growing up and things are possibly changing, but so it makes sense that one day you had such an intimate discussion with each other.
She was drunk.
I was, yes. Also something we couldn't tell our parents at the time. Younger. Good. Okay, so I have a question about so if Diego in his influence says that he has influence on me, I don't actually need to enter him, or should I enter him in my influence chart?
Yeah, you should enter him in the same. Yeah. Okay. That might also be the case why I restricted that in the playbooks to 2 influences, because then if somebody else enters you still have enough space. Okay. Because it's important that you just have 4 of these influence hearts, because 4, that is actually the number of the minus number you need to roll on if you want to have a happy ending, the number of still open influences. you have for other people.
I have another
So
question.
it's reverse.
I have another thought. So maybe since we want to shrink the number of people here, since you have abuelo, Rich, maybe I should also have abuelo instead of mom. Maybe it is abuelo who is the...
I'm happy to go with your to switch abuelo to the mother too. That makes it a little tighter. I'm okay with that too.
Should we do that with have the mom?
Sure, she needs a name.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. She needs a name.
I think, yeah, maybe we choose from the righteous names.
Sure. We can do that.
Maybe
And we
Ruth.
have
Ruth.
Marta. Ruth, yeah. Ruth.
Ruth is good. Ruth. Mom. Moon. Okay, good. Ruth Mendoza.
Oh man, so Ruth. Yeah, she's the head of the mafia then.
Is the head of the what?
Head of the boat mafia.
Is she? Oh, right, yes. Of course she is, because you're in the boat mafia. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I think
easy it goes, yeah.
she has a very strong idea about what my future is going to be like. And she has influence over me. I mean, I'm very sure about my own future until she comes into the room. And then I'm not so sure any longer. You're better, I think, at standing up to her, which maybe a little bit at least.
Maybe. She does have influence over me, so I don't know how good I am at standing up to her. But I'd probably ask occasionally for you to do a commercial about the boats.
All right. Yeah.
So it's good. Rebecca, what other influences do you have? So we have clarified the mayor, and we know about Ruth. She wants to decide your future.
Yes. And then I added Diego. Diego, what is are we cousins or siblings?
I think cousins, but I'm not opposed to siblings if you wanted to go that tight of a relationship.
Yeah, let's go. It's always better with short games. Let's go with siblings.
It's the same family, and for the daughter, they are always there for her, and for the son thinks the family is a burden.
It's appropriate, right?
Yeah. And then I don't know. I don't want to make this too. I mean, I want to give both Julia and Samuel. The players a play. I mean, I want to give Julia and Samuel a place in Rebecca's life, but I don't know if I should do that through influence or just through role play. I don't know.
Yeah. We get that through role play quickly, I would say. Like we have already through the water project, we already have a quite interesting connection, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm done in that case.
Cool. And then Samuel, you have Diego in your list of influences.
I put all of them.
Yes.
I don't know how it. Okay. With Rebecca, I put that. Yeah, I owe her money. But yeah, I owe you money.
Yeah.
And the context of that owing money can be very complicated and can develop in the game, I think.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe if I actually want to leave, I actually need that money back.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you why I need it.
Yeah.
Because maybe I said earlier, it's fine. We can have it for a couple of months.
Yeah. And also the conditions of the of that owing. You can make them as you wish.
That sounds, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's think about that. We can also develop the play.
Yeah. I think they can work. And I also have the mayor. I didn't know that I put it earlier, but then you gave her a name, so I put her the same name. So we have the same mayor. But it's not my. Well, and I already explained the influence that I have on her. That I can in the game, I can do whatever I want with the knowledge I have about the lake and her interests. Yeah, and I also put Diego, but I think I have to put the same thing that he added in the list because I have another.
No worries. Yeah. No worries. Okay. You can edit to it. Yeah.
And the last of them, it's Julia, and I was thinking that, given the fact that he is washing in the lake, he is a pretty good observer of the things that happen in the lake. So about the struggles that I have as a rebel, she is a pretty good observer, and she can watch my behavior. She can listen to things that I talk with my friends. So she, as an outsider of the things that I do, has a very nice idea of what is happening with me. Yeah.
That's nice.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Cool. I see, Julia, that you have also now influence on Samuel. You have an idea about this distributing the flyers?
Yeah, I just thought that since he was helping us, we would like tell people about his fishing business, right?
Yeah. Why don't you put it on the on me side?
Okay.
Then that you owe him a little bit for helping you with this, because then you already have symmetrical influence over each other, right? You have influence on them and they over you, so you could copy actually from the other player and have this symmetrical. Does that make sense? Yeah, I have done so, for example, for the Diego and Samuel relationship already.
Oh, you put it on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, like you have influence over Samuel because you know a little bit about his struggle, a little bit more intimately about like his struggle, about his destiny, escaping his destiny, and yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, just the other way around. You have influence over him because of the assumptions, and he has influence over you because he helps you with the flyers and the stuff. Yeah, and maybe now what I explained earlier is a little bit less abstract. Now you see, sometimes you already have like mutual influence over each other. And there is a special move called Resolve Influence. If you have an intimate scene where both characters agree on that they want to give up that influence, we have that scene and you can erase completely that line. So it's something, it looks good to have that influence. You can make the other characters do stuff, but it's actually not good for you, and you gain XP if you give up on that. Well, you don't get XP, you get unforgettable badges, and when you use these unforgettable badges, they transform into XP, so it's one step in between that. But I would say we are done with character creation at this stage. You haven't carried over yet the unforgettables, so Diego has already deleted 2 of them, and Rebecca as well. And you enter them by, yeah, I can do that in Diego's case, for example. He has 1 furious, looks like this then, and 1 cool. So in his column, you can already see how that looks like. So you have like 2 of these columns with an X and an O. And when you use that Furious badge, the X would transform into an at. Then it would look like this. So, but now it's 1 hour and 50 minutes that we are in the Hangout, and now we make a break, and then we start the game by everybody rolling the starting move, which is trabajo, which means work. And that starting moves gives you a little bit of inspiration how your character's daily life currently looks like, how well they are doing. But that we do after the break. And so we see each other again 5 past, whatever it is your time. Sounds good?
It sounds good.
I switch my camera off in this 5 minutes, and yeah, feel free to do so as well. Yeah. No, Daniel, you can switch it up with Control E, if you, for example, or you there on the top you have like the camera symbol.
It doesn't work with Control.
Are you muted? No.
It's not working with Control E.
Control E, yeah. Doesn't work. Maybe I could also switch your camera off if I want to. But yeah, it doesn't matter. If you just walk away, you can also... I can switch your camera off here. There we go.
Thank you.
Hello. I never recognized that. Is Hangout really allowing me to switch on your web cameras with this control room tool? That's a little bit scary.
You have the power with cameraman. There's a control room? Yeah, kind of cool.
Kind of cool, yeah. Like when somebody thinks they're in the middle of a break and nobody can see them, you're like, cluck.
Influence on us.
Yeah. Interesting.
We should mark all of our characters that the GM has influence over us with the control room.
Yes, but I hope to be able to resolve it as quickly as I can. Cool. So, yeah, I see. Junita is the mayor, Junita Takashoy, and her niece is having a wonderful business idea, bringing all the washing, the lavanderia to the next level. And then we have a Rebecca with her radio show, where she only got in because of the church music. Daniel, Samuel, is he entertainment, or did you want to pick from the list Lake and Farm? Actually,
yeah, that's more accurate.
It's Lake and Farm.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I changed that. It's somehow less easy to pick than the others. I don't know what is wrong with Google in that case. Yeah. Nice. So we are all together for rolling dice for the first time after 2 hours. Yes. It's one of those tabletop role-playing games where you roll a lot of dice. And now we do that. So, but not yet. The Trabajo move, maybe you have it in front of you when you look at the play material. The Trabajo move has a specific mechanic which forces us to first choose who we support in their work. So everybody of us has a way to make a living, and each of us has an idea now in which relationship they are to each other. So now you go to the chat window, doesn't matter which one, I would pick the one in the Hangout. You write the name of the character your character wants to help in their daily work, but you don't press enter yet, because we do that at the same time. It's revealed at the same time. When we were sitting at the table, we were pointing at the one we want to help at the same time. Here we just can enter the name. And that person gets a +1 on their roll for each other person who helps them. So think about it for a moment. You want to help, then enter the name, and then I count to 3, and on 3 we press enter. Is that clear? Good. Do you all have typed in a name, a person you would like to help? Good. All right. Danielle, you as well?
Yeah.
Good. Then I count to 3. 1, 2, 3, enter. So Diego is helping Julia, and Julia is helping Samuel, but we haven't seen, and are you in the other chat? Yeah. Yeah. And Samuel gets help from Julia, and Julia also gets help from Samuel. That means, yeah. Cool. So Diego doesn't get any help for his job. He is rolling with +0 on Trabajo. And Julia gets help from Samuel and from Diego.
Yep.
So Julia is rolling with +2, and Samuel as well with +2. And Rebecca and Diego don't get help from anybody, so they roll +0. So you can either roll with physical dice, you can use the roll for your party room, which Rich just opened, or you type into the other chat, into the Hangouts non-video chat, /roll 2d6. All options. I guess the 8 is already Diego's result. $11. Oh. And Samuel, how are you doing? A 10. Oh, that's also good. And that leaves Rebecca. Or did you? Ah, you have a 6. Oh, you just got a 6. Okay, so we have one miss. Rebecca is not starting so well into the game. And we have 2 full successes and one medium success, right? For Diego, you got an 8? Yeah. Good. So when you look at the Trabajo move, it says on a 10 plus, business is going well. You know who helped you. You can figure out maybe like how they helped you and together with the person who helped you. And then you can pick from the Trabajo move one of the options. Do you have that in front of you, or shall I copy that into the chat?
I have that.
You have it?
I have it.
Cool. And for the medium result, you choose 2 options. However, the third one, which you don't choose, is the one which is then giving you somehow trouble. So one is you can pay your bills, nothing gets broken, and the third is you get along well with colleagues. So you actually choose what you don't get. And this is where you start. So, and then with a miss, something is really going bad. Cool. Okay. Yeah, but that is now definitely all the pre-work, and the Trabajo move obviously leads like into the first kind of scene, and we all want to see you at your work and what is going well there and how the others have helped you. And so why don't we start with Rich Rogers, the person I have gamed the most in the last 14 months with.
Yay!
Hi, Diego.
I like that. Diego got a 8, which means that I have to choose one of those 3 I don't get. I'm going to go with I don't get the option of nothing gets broken or needs to be fixed. Means that it needs attention.
Something needs attention.
I think my boat. I'm leaning towards needing to go see a tinkerer, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I guess it's not a miss. So you don't end up with 30 angry passengers in the middle of the lake.
No, but I think
it's not working anymore.
I think someone's pistol went off, and so I have a hole in my boat. No. I was able to get everybody over, but yeah, there's a hole in my boat.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't afford to get a whole new frame, so I need a really good patch.
Oof, yeah. Oh no, that is annoying because there are a lot of passengers now which want to get your boat, and the next one should be at the full hour, and there is no boat because your boat is not working. So you're
Blame the government. Blame the government.
Standing at the harbor, and there are like already 20 people. They have all the stuff they bought at the market. They want to cross the lake, they expect you to have a functioning boat. And there you are, and blame the government. Congratulations, yeah. That will work so well. We leave you there for a moment and might return. Maybe we find somebody else also getting close to you. But let's switch over to one of the persons where it really went well. What about the fisherman? What about Samuel? Which option did you pick?
I'm looking into it. Well, I think I will choose the third one. Your business success makes you popular in town. What person or group gets in touch with you?
Ooh. I would say that must be the mayor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all involved with the government.
Yes. So your phone rings.
It's not mine.
No, in the game.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Say hi to your brother.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's Shonita Takashoi. It's the mayor herself, and she's calling you. Yeah. Say, Samuel, how is it going?
Hey, everything's fine. How is it going with you?
It's all fine. See you at 12. See you at 12 at my office. All right? You have time?
Oh, okay. I think I'll make some time for you. At 12, right?
I expect you to do so. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna miss it.
12 sharp. Talk to my secretary. They let you in.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it. What's the name of the secretary?
It's Marta.
Okay, we'll talk to Marta.
See you at 12.
Okay, I'll see you at 12.
So how have the other two helped you?
In this, I have to choose someone related to the other players.
Oh no, it is like Julia has helped you with your daily business. How has she done that?
Well, I needed some new nests for the fish, which I wasn't very happy about because I was expecting that all our instruments get ruined and we don't have to fish anything. We don't have any instrument left to fish. But I was asked for a new one, so she helped me finding a good quality one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and who paid for it? Was that Rebecca again?
No, well, some of the money went for that, but it was a very large amount of money. It was like 5,000 quetzales. It was very large, so I was really preoccupied what I have to do to pay her. So some of the money went for the instruments, for the fishing. Yeah, that's the arc.
Good. Thank you very much. And Julia, you also got a full success.
Yeah, I was thinking of using that for becoming popular in town. I think I wanted to connect with Rebecca, right? Get on the radio or in the church somehow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We maybe we did an interview with you, and it became really popular.
All right, that sounds great.
What did you say in this interview?
Just talk about this future business that we're planning, right? That should be available available soon.
People were like, "Yeah, this is the future of." Everyone says that this town is going nowhere, but look at this, and people were very excited.
Ooh,
Like that.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I also voted to help Samuel. So I think maybe one thing that I did was that I, at one point, I said like, also the problem with politicians is that they don't listen to the people who really know things. That's a general problem. And if you really want to know what's going on with the river, you need to talk to people who are at the river, like this wonderful person, Samuel, right? He knows everything. And I really talked you up how awesome you were and how much you knew, and that's where you want to go if you want to have focus groups and things like that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, like the mayor doesn't know fishermen, but yeah, getting in touch with the most important, the most successful one. That's you asked the radio star. I see. Ah, cool. Yeah, that sounds all good. However, we still have a miss on the table in Julia, and for you becoming popular in town. Indeed, yeah, like you will have customers, you will be busy. But now, Rebecca, do you mind if you are one of those customers who can't cross the lake, although they have to urgently because Diego's boat is not going off?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah. Do you have an idea about what went wrong?
Well, so we have a general problem with the radio station. We busted an important computer. It broke, and we really needed to. We only have a little room, right? And we have some important equipment, and one of the computers there broke, it was on loan from someone who's really angry. He says he's going to come in and take all the equipment back because the computer broke. So I have to get there before he does, and because otherwise I don't know how we're going to transmit at all. I missed, right? So everything is going wrong. So there's that, and then my mom, our mom, Diego. She thinks that this thing about the radio is not a real job. Also, it's not really making any money right now either. So it's usually the case with radio things, right? So she's of the opinion that I should stop doing this foolishness and focus on being a church musician and working in the church gift shop.
Oh, that sounds bad. And that is the moment when you come down to the harbor, to the Embarcadero, and see your brother there and telling you that he won't cross the lake now? What about, let's the two of you start? Is that fine for you? Cool, okay.
You want us to do it now, or do you want it to go through someone else? Yeah?
I do it now. I think we are done with all the trabajo moves.
Okay. Diego, what's going on?
No, I'm sorry. No, you can. There's one coming in a half hour. I'm very busy trying to redirect everyone because there's a hole in my stupid boat.
What? How can there be a hole in your boat? You had it fixed 2 weeks ago. We have to cross. I got to get over there.
I don't want to yell this like out loud, so I move over. Someone brought a gun onto my boat.
What? Diego, what are you mixed up with now?
It's not my fault. I didn't even know the guy. His gun went off.
Went off?
A struggle. Yes, there's a hole in my boat.
Did someone get shot?
No one got shot. It was just a hole in the boat. Just a hole, but I don't want to talk about guns. It's people will.
Yeah, for a good reason. Though. I gotta get over there. You don't get it. I have to get over there. Peter is saying he's gonna come in and take all the equipment from the studio. I have to go there now.
It's okay. It's just your studio. What do you care? This is the perfect exit. And then no one will blame you.
I'm not looking for an exit. I'm not looking.
I know you're not looking for it, but it's been handed to you. Just
Hey, I have responsibility, something that you might not understand much about, but I do.
I understand, and you've let that tie you tethered to that responsibility when you don't even want it. Now you can just be free.
I'm free. I need to get over this lake, and I need to get over this lake.
You're not getting it on this boat.
Okay, but seriously, how hard can it be to fix a leak? Just do it.
Exactly. Rebecca, I think you're totally right. It's just there will be a little bit of water inside. Maybe it's half sunk when it reaches the other side of the lake, but who cares, right?
You don't have to.
Do you want to?
There's another boat coming in an hour. No, she's really gonna have to try to convince me. I think this is a sign. This is the perfect opportunity for her to fail at her thing, and it won't be her fault. She's out.
Absolutely. You think Diego, do you think she should try to get what she wants?
I think she should. I think she should try to get what she wants.
Yeah. The question is, does she have leverage over you? It's like one of those moves where you need to think about, like, do you have something you can threaten the other one with? Where there's your mother, there's your personal relationship you have with each other.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could do an end around and say, "Mom will come after me." That's true.
Hey, if I can't believe this. You're absolutely stalling right now. You're actually stalling to keep me from getting across the lake. That's what you're doing. You know what? If you don't get me in this boat right now, I'm telling Mom that someone brought a gun into the boat, and you couldn't do anything about that. What? She's gonna wait. Our mom is a boat mafioso, right?
Yeah. Well, she's the boat owner.
You know how she gets when someone does something like that onto our turf. Is that you want to be in the middle of that? No. So get me over the lake.
Oh man.
I think you need to roll now.
Ah.
That was very convincing, I would say. I hope too. So that is a roll plus fate plus your will.
So
you have to roll plus iron. Sorry, no.
Do I roll?
Yeah, you roll, Rebecca, and you roll plus your fate. So that is plus 0.
Okay, so I roll 2d6.
So you roll 2d6 plus 0.
Which is 6.
A 6 is not 100% convincing. Or it can be, and it can go wrong. Well, I think it very much depends on if Diego found that convincing. The boat, though, might sink if you go over the lake.
This would be my fault.
Which would be then your fault. It is one option, which is on the table. But Diego, it's up to you. What you think that could mean?
Okay, Becca, I will take you over, but you have to guarantee that Julia will come and fix my boat. And no one else. I just want Julia. Some private time with Julia fixing the boat. You make that happen, I'll get you over the lake. I'm going to have to scoop everything out. I don't have a bucket. So much trouble.
Sure, of course, I'll fix it. Just let's just go. I'll call her immediately.
All right, come on. I'm taking on minimum passengers.
It's fine. Everything is fine now.
Well, sounds perfect. Okay, I think we can see, like, in the bright sun, the boat is taking off, and already after 50 meters on the lake, you can see it like changing a little bit into the vertical direction.
Your money, just stick your thumb in there.
Don't you have buckets? How can you not have more than 2 buckets on this thing?
I had buckets, and I got stuck on the lake and had to use it, and it's gross.
Well, how do you use buckets? Do you throw them out? You're not supposed to throw them out, Diego.
I had to use it.
Cool. All right. I think, Julia, when you are down at the beach with the washing women, do you want to see the 2 brothers and sisters on the lake, how they argue?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
That sounds interesting. And I was thinking about
one of them or something.
Oh yes, and I was thinking about Samuel. If you before you go to the mayor, would you like to talk to Julia so we can have a scene with the two of you at the beach,
Yeah,
talking
I would
about
like.
the flyers?
I would like to. I would like to.
Cool. Then yeah, it's the Parque Chechivoy. Actually, you can't see the boats from there, but this is where the washing place is, and yeah. People are busy there washing all the huipiles and all the scarves getting cleaned up, and also the modern stuff. And so there are usually like 20, 30 women are usually there, and sometimes men. And they clean. And it's also the opportunity in town to share gossip. It's a very important place because from there, all information comes in and goes out into town again. Yeah. And this is a good place to meet, right?
Yeah.
Good.
That's great. So,
And yeah,
okay, do we start now?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, hi, Julia.
Hello.
How is it going?
It's going great. I just had a interview with the radio show, and they had these flyers that look a lot like yours. It seems like you're getting some competition.
Oh wow. Well, I don't mind some competition. I think it's healthy. But I have this something that I need to tell you, and it's worrying me. It's about an appointment with the mayor.
The mayor.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't know what to dress, how to dress. Yeah, I don't know what's on her mind, and I hope it isn't bad.
You didn't request the appointment?
No. It got me by surprise. I was just laying. I wanted to do anything. I was just relaxing, and suddenly I got the call, and she wanted an appointment. So, she's very mean. She's a very mean person. So I don't know what's on his mind right now.
Yeah, that's my Tia.
Oh, so
definitely dress up. She has a lot of power.
Yeah, I totally forgot about your Tia. Hope you don't get mad about anything that I said.
Well, fortunately, that is the moment when the half-sunk boat passes by with the two siblings arguing.
What? I had to use the bucket, otherwise I could kill the fish. I was very drunk. Julia, hello.
That boat looks odd.
Yeah, something is happening. Something's happening.
Good.
Is there like a 911 or something you can call?
I called Julia. Can I do that?
You can do so,
Alright.
yeah.
Pick up the phone.
Hi, Julia. I'm here with Diego. It's so we happen to be on a boat. Right. So this boat has a little bit of a problem.
Is it sinking?
And it's. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go. Is it sinking, Diego? Is it sinking? No, it's not sinking. No, it's a matter of opinion.
No, the lake is rising.
There's a high water level right now. Anyway, we're setting in here into Santa Maria Pier here in a little while, and I know you did wonders when you helped your cousin with his boat last month. You did something there. You talked about glue and stuff. Do you know things about this? Yes.
It's not usually, you don't usually fix boats while they're working.
No, but we'll be on land soon. We will be on land soon.
Okay.
And then you know something about this, right? Because Diego doesn't know anything. Seriously, he doesn't know anything about it.
What? No. We need Julia's help.
Yeah, we can look at it once you dock.
That sounds great. Yes, he would really need your help.
Whoa, cool, yeah. Thank you very much. May I quickly make a couple of mechanical suggestions here? So first of all, before we left the scene at the harbor, I think that was a perfect opportunity actually for an unforgettable for Julia, for Rebecca, because the whole town saw what was going on before you left. The harbor is full of people waiting to get on the boat. But just mentioning, though, so it could be, if you want to, you can transform one of your unforgettables, the honest or the furious, depending on what was more prominent at the moment, I would say, into an experience point. So switching that to the at. The other thing is, because we are short to the end of our session, if you want to experience a tuk-tuk race, just a suggestion, we could, because everybody wants something from Julia at the moment. So we could say, let's do it. Let's decide. Let's make a race about who Julia is helping. The preparation for the mayor's appointment, to repair the boat, under whose terms. Would that be a good tuk-tuk race? Would you all jump into the tuk-tuk now?
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So
I mean,
now there are rules for knocking your sister out of the race with your tuk-tuk, right? Those are
yes.
If not, we need to write them right now.
Oh, there are rules for that. Yeah, like whenever it's your turn, you can say who is in trouble with the current obstacle, and it's your choice as a player who is troubled, and you can easily explain that then. But for the mechanical thing in the scene at the washing area, we know that Samuel and Julia have both influence over each other. So it was a quite intimate scene, and they were willing to help each other, and they were talking openly about what they think about Julia's aunt and so on. So it was a wonderful opportunity for resolve that influence, if you want. And then you could erase that line, and it's free again for something else. Just as an example of how these things could work. Don't have to fix that now. So are we in for a tuk-tuk race? It sounds like yes.
Would I be racing also? Or would I be like a prize?
Yeah, we need to write like how would you phrase it, Julia? Would you say like who the winner gets Julia's attention or Julia's time? And if she wins, she can keep her time as she wants.
Sure, that sounds good.
Sounds good to you? Cool. So let's do this in the last 20 minutes we have. Here's the link to the tuk-tuk sheet. And I will also switch the screen to it. So this race is about Julia's time, yes. And the winner can make a decision about that. And now we have like one line per player and a little tuk-tuk which you can move back and forth. There's no NPC around in this case, because it all went smoothly. And so, yeah, enter your character's name or your player's name, whatever feels more appropriate to you. I think it's the character makes more sense. So you begin the race by thinking about how you would prepare for the race. The race happens immediately, so it could also be a flashback, and you pick one of the basic moves, and you roll for that basic move with the appropriate stat. So you could say, I listen loud to music before I go into the race. Like I pump myself up with the latest album of my favorite band. So you roll rocking. You could also say, I comfort my brother, like because he had another argue with our mother. So you roll comfort. It could be very different. Or empathize. I want to understand how my sister is actually working, in which stage she currently is. So pick a basic move. You don't go too deep into the fiction, and you roll the basic move, and on a miss, you start with 0 flow. Your tuk-tuk stays on 0. On a partial success, you start with 1. On a full success, with 2. So to make this as an example, does anybody already have an idea for a basic move they want to roll?
I could tune my tuk-tuk. That seems like a good
That
start.
makes that's made absolute sense. Yeah. Then you roll your tuning plus manos. And then you can tell us the result. Yeah. Anybody else has an idea already what they want to roll?
I think that I'm rocking. I want to listen to a lot of hard thrashing music, except I will not listen to Thrasher, whatever Thrasher is. If that's an actual thing, I won't listen to Thrasher just because.
Yeah. Because, yes.
All right, so I got a 9.
Yes. So you start with 1 flow. So you can move your little tuk-tuk to 1. Oh. All right. And what does Rebecca do? And what does Julia do? Oh, Julia, you win out tuning. Yeah, we had that. But Samuel.
I get I choose where is it? Assess the situation.
Ah, how do you assess the situation here?
Well, I'm rolling. I rolled a 7.
So you start with 1 flow. I can move your tuk-tuk 1 further up. How do you assess the situation? How does it look like?
Well, I have to answer one of the questions in the list, right?
Yeah, well, you don't go too fully into the move, but yeah, just ask a question. Indeed, do so.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking what's the best road to take, and if I can use my speakers to set some distraction in the race.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think that's a cool opening move.
Yeah.
So, Rebecca, what are you doing? You're muted? Oh.
Right. Should I have chosen a third move, individual move, if among my moves? Is it? Oh no, this is a this is a basic move we're doing, right?
You just pick a basic move.
Okay.
Yeah. If your character fits better, then you can also take that one.
Okay. So I'm a little confused. Now I'm here. I'm gonna. I'm gonna tune my my tuk-tuk, my storm, of course. That's what I'm gonna do. So it needs more new paint. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be the most awesome tuk-tuk on the street. It's gonna make everyone look at it and not the race track.
Cool. All right. Then what did you roll?
I have not rolled yet. Roll 2d6. And that's plus manus? No, plus, yeah, right?
Yeah, plus manus.
Okay, I wrote 7, and I think I have 1 in manus. That's 8. I think I have 1.
Yes. Okay, so you also start with 1 flow. I move your tuk-tuk. And Diego, what did you roll?
I rolled a 7 plus 1 for loco of so I got an 8. I chose the moves that I automatically don't feel bad or disconnected afterwards.
Ah, yeah.
Which is nice, which means I don't have to take a condition. I'm going to choose with my one option. You learn about a secret by or from somebody rocking with you. Is that Rebecca? Do I learn a secret about Rebecca, maybe?
Yeah. What did you do to rock? Tell me again.
Oh, well, I have these cool little speakers in my tuk-tuk, and we were listening to a bunch of loud, angry metal, obviously not coming from your radio station because you play classy music.
Yeah. Right. Well, I told you when we sat there, we got into talk radio. You like listening more to music than people talking. And in this, I mentioned that I once did an interview with the mayor. That was a big thing, really big thing. And I said, well, I mean, no, you can learn. So you should pay more attention to what people say. It's really important. So, for instance, I heard this thing about the mayor. You would never believe it. And then I don't tell you the secret, but now you know that I know something about the mayor tonight. How about that?
Ooh, neat. So I know a secret about. I know a secret that you know a secret about the mayor.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That sounds good. Yeah. So it's totally fair. We all start with one flow. So what happens now is that each player is describing one obstacle, and because time is a little bit tight, we either make it a little bit fast, or one or two of you give up of describing an obstacle. An obstacle can be anything. It's something on the road, like there could be like thousands of tomatoes being on the road and it's being totally sloppy, or it could be something you do as a tuk-tuk driver. Like, for example, I heard that somebody's making loud music on to distract others. Then you say who is championed in that situation and who is troubled. And the person who is championed rolls 1d6 plus 1, the troubled d6 minus 1, and all the others a simple d6. And the result tells you if you gain flow or if you lose flow. So, and the flow is in the end helping you to get faster over the finishing line. So Samuel already described that he put this distraction on, but who do you want to distract?
I want to distract Diego because he also has his speakers on. So he has really loud metal. So I set up another speaker so I can have more sound. So I can have my music, which is more like a very, very 90s pop music, which is, yeah, it can sound more than the metal that he has.
That's great.
Yeah. And who's champion for 90s pop music?
What?
No more
who's
Pearl Jam.
champion?
This is terrible.
It's all Dr. Alban. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was walking home today and passing by a cantina, and there was "It's My Life" running out of the boxes. So.
Yeah.
So who's championed by your music? So it can't be yourself. So you need to pick another player who gets a +1 on their own.
Well, I think Julia likes it.
Cool. Okay. So everybody rolls 1d6, just 1d6. It's so anti-PbtA, 1d6. And Diego -1, Julia +1. But everybody rolls. With your favorite die. Wherever it is.
I got a 6, so no.
Daniel, you have to do slash roll.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
I got 3.
All right. With 3, your flow doesn't change. If you have 4 or more, you get +1 in your flow. 1 or less, -1. So if I see that correctly, Diego's doesn't change. But Julia is now on 2 flow. It really goes well for Julia. She can decide about her own time, as it seems. And nobody else has any changes, right? I didn't completely follow. Yeah. Okay, the problem is, now, Julia, you are ahead, so you roll with -2, because the person with the highest flow means like you are somehow ahead and you have to face an obstacle first. Julia, do you have an idea for an obstacle?
I kind of wanted to do something with bugs, like how my car is covered in bugs. Maybe like throw a thing of bugs out to hit the other people.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Who's troubled and who's championed?
I was going to do their positions, but everybody's the same. I think I'll champion Samuel, because he was probably like right next to me. And then trouble Diego.
Yeah,
probably trying to push ahead.
Yeah. All right, then everybody rolls again. Julia -2, Samuel +1, and Diego -1.
I got 4.
Yeah, so you get +1 in flow.
Oh, the flow helps too. Because I got 2, so it's 2 minus 2 is 0.
0, so you lose 1 flow. Okay, everybody else stays the same. Diego? Oh, a 5. Oh, you even gain a flow. Oh. Yay. So, okay, so now the problem is that we are running out of time. And so sorry, Rebecca, sorry, Diego, we skip your obstacle, if that is fine for you, and go to the finishing line. Is that okay for you? I can't see you because my my bandwidth is so low that I can't see the thumbnail, so I can't see when you're saying something. Sounds good to you. Cool. All right, cool. So let's go straight to the finishing line. And the finishing line works like this. You need to say how fast you want to go. You need to fix your speed. That's where the dash is. You do that secretly. So we type it in all at the same time. So we reveal it at the same time. The person with the highest speed wins the race. However, you need to roll 2d6 plus flow over that speed. If you don't, you gain a condition and you don't make it. So 7 might be a good number. Don't type the number in yet, but we type it in at the same time. Is that understood? Shall I say it again? So you decide how fast you want to go, but then you need to roll 2d6 plus your current flow and roll over your speed to actually make it. Otherwise, you end up somewhere else. However, yeah, well, you can roll again, but you need to take a condition every time you roll again. Makes sense? Everybody is ready?
Yes.
For their speed level? Okay, so I count to 3 and then you enter. 1, 2, 3, enter. So we don't. What number did you choose?
Yeah.
Then, all right. So Rebecca or Diego will win the race because they are the most courageous drivers. They are also the most devastated with the boat. Okay, so now everybody rolls 2d6 plus their current flow.
I got 6.
6 altogether, so 4 plus 2. Or...
6 plus 2 is 8.
Ah, an 8. Okay, yeah.
I got an 8 as well. Brother and sister fail together. I think we run into each other. I'm bumping her.
Yeah, our tuk-tuks turn like hit each other, then slowly topple over.
Yes.
All right.
There's a dog in the middle. We're like, no.
Yeah, the street dog. And Samuel and Julia, do you make it into the goal, into the finishing line?
I got 11.
Ooh.
Oh. No, it depends. Samuel, 7 or higher, and you win the race.
I get a 5.
You don't make it.
I don't make it.
So now, by the rules, everybody can take a condition, like angry or hopeless, and 2 more are there, to roll again. But I think we would have a nice finishing with Julia just slowly makes it over the finishing line and can decide about her own time. What do you think?
It's fine.
I like it.
Cool. Diego, and you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, the winner is Julia, and she can decide about her time, and that is something we will do when we play next week together.
Yay!
Thank you very much for playing today, for character creation and talking about our characters and having an exciting tuk-tuk race. Yeah. Oh yeah, and for participating in the race, you get one unforgettable badge, like one of these. You can choose whatever you want, what suits your racing style, what happened in the race, or what happened before the race, or why the race came together. Your choice. Cool. Thank you very much. Do you have like 2 minutes to go around for like what you liked about the game, or what you generally think about it? So I start with saying, I like it a lot. Playing with you. I think you are just a fantastic group. I'm so happy to have you. You know, I was putting this up the calendar and nobody joined for a long time. And then in the end, I looked at the list again. And I thought like, wow, this is my dream crew. Yeah. So I'm very happy to have you. And it's a great pleasure to have such a empathetic group. And it's a great pleasure to play with you, Danielle, in this group, because you know where we are, much more than I do. And and I'm happy that we took the time for character creation and nobody seemed to be like too annoyed. I hope that was actually the case. And for some people, character creation is a lot of fun. For others, it's like, when can we play? When can we play? And indeed, I sometimes think I should make a freeform version of the whole game, and I think I will do that at some point in time to quicker get into play. But yeah, tabletop RPGs have their right of existence as well. Susanne, what do you think?
I really enjoyed this. So first of all, thank you all for playing. This was a lot of fun, and I agree. I think it's a very group that's good at catching things and then throwing them back and improvising around stuff. So I really like that. I think I'm going to enjoy playing with you guys. I also really like the game, I have to say. I think it's inspiring to see how much you can do with an online interface. I also especially like the physical things, like doing the tuk-tuk, moving the little because it's an online game. When you get to do these physical things, it's a good way of connecting to what's going on. I like that. So it was fun. I wonder if I had anything else I particularly want to say. No, well, I'm looking forward to playing more.
Cool. Yes, see you next week. Rich, what do you think?
I I was actually chatting with Paul as we came near the end, Paul, my good buddy over Slack, and I said that the games, as I would expect, because it's you, like it's your heart out there. It's adorable. Like I really engage in all of the like little arts and crafts. This feels like as a physical game, the creating that would be so super cool to like do that live. It was fun doing it online. I think it was a good conversion, but yeah, I've heard that the tuk-tuk was pretty great. So that was all fascinating. I think and we had to kind of jump to the tuk-tuk, but I'm curious about the connective tissue of going from the day-to-day kind of slice of life and now things are on the line, do a tuk-tuk race. So I really hope that next time when we play, we can see that actually like happen within the game rather than we're running out of time. Let's hit this. I'm glad we play tested it. It's not a complaint. I'm really interested in the seeing it without having to jump ahead as well. So those parts are interesting to me. Racing is a tough thing, like to keep it from taking up an entire session. And speaking as the guy who is an idiot who made a baseball RPG and actually wants role playing around doing a whole baseball game, which is a terrible idea, but I'll keep doing it. So that was fun. There's, I think maybe like a proof over some of the words and terms would be helpful, because like I was really lost in some of the words. Like I don't know what this means, but you were there to kind of handhold it, and we're in playtest, so that's not a problem. Man, this is a gorgeous, and the form factor is really neat. Like I want to hold the book that you have laid this out to go into. Like it's just really interesting. I really like the overall layout and the design. It's a neat little PDF. It's really neat. I rarely go from like, oh, this is a PDF of a game I'm trying to. Yeah, I seriously want the physical book. Like I'm not that person who's like, oh, where's your print on demand? But for this one, like I could super run around with this. Like it's like a 20, 30 page more background on all of the cool parts of the setting. So I had a good time, and I probably blathered on too much, so I'll just stop there.
Thank you very much. And Asher, what do you think? That was a German TH. What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I like the slice of life nature of it. How it was kind of combative, but we also helped each other a lot, you know? I really liked how they're like complex relationships, you know? For the racing, I thought the flow was kind of a strange concept, because it's like how fast you're going, but also like what place you're in. I didn't quite understand that, but it worked well. Yeah. I think I'll just have to read through everything before next time, because there is a lot of information here.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, in any case, I'm always there to avoid confusion. Cool, thank you. Danielle, do you have any remarks?
Well, it is the first time I played something like this, so it's like, oh, there's a lot going on, so I have to keep my attention, something that I'm not very good at it, but I think I can improve on it. And it was a really, really cool experience with all of you. Yeah, I really liked it. The energy that you can give it to a game, it's very interesting, and I can see myself doing it more and more every time. I think it's the first time, and I'm really glad that I did it, and also the game. I think I understood it, because I get a lot of what you wrote, what you did, and that helped me a lot. But yeah, I think even though I have to reread everything that you put on the pages, so I can perform better some of the time.
Oh, no worries, Daniel. First time role-playing experience.
Yeah.
That's a very special moment. First time doing role-playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were great, Daniel. It was really, you're a really good player. I'm looking forward
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to play some baseball games too.
I will hold you to that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my impression and everything. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much again. And now we're 6 minutes over time, and I forgot to stop the broadcasting before we do the debrief, but that also means that I have something to listen to again. And so thank you very much also for the remarks on what I can still do with the game, because it is playtesting, and I'm very thankful for any kind of feedback, and also where you think like, doesn't work that well yet, or there's, yeah, that is also helpful. I'm very happy to see next week, unfortunately not Danielle, because it's Mother's Day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But in 2 weeks you are back.
Yeah.
And then we go to the mayor, definitely. But next week, Bethany will be with us. Cool.
That's great.
Okay.
I stop the broadcasting now.